I just wanted to talk about how sometimes some of my, subscribers on my music channel, they send me messages, they ask me questions, and I never really get the chance, but I'm trying to be better at really answering questions that, people are asking me. So one of the questions I found that were quite common was like, how do I open up a song? Like, how do I know what's the first line, or how do I get to the first line? Well, for me, it's the hardest part of singing is to get the first line down. Um, I don't, since the beginning of whenever I started recording. So I really like kind of developed my way of really working on it. So I just keep doing it over and over, the same line, the opening line, until I actually really feel the vibe that I want to feel. And then I try to feel the tempo and make sure the phrasing and it all fits like a glove. I mean, I may not sing it at that time as good as I'm gonna do it in the studio, but I just gotta capture tempo, phrasing, and the vibe. So uh, I'm working on a song, and the first line is really like getting me kind of a little gnarly. Anyway, so this is how I do it. So it's. And here we go. When I think about my life, I go so deep, it makes me cry. When I think about my life, I go so deep, it makes me cry. When I think about my life, I go so deep, it makes me cry. When I think about my life, I go so deep, it makes me cry. When I think about my life, I go deep, it makes me cry. When I think about my life, I go deep, it makes me cry. When I think about my life, I go so deep, it makes me cry. When I think about my life, I go so deep, it makes me cry. So that's the kind of like many ways I can open up the song, the different feelings of the song. So I usually settle on one line by maybe in a couple of days, right? I usually would catch the line that I think I'm gonna use permanently, and once I get that first line, the rest of the song is a breeze. So just a little tidbit of how you could practice your songs and kind of listen to yourself a lot, how you're singing it. The best way to do songwriting, I believe, is my own ears. I like to hear my voice. I like to hear my guitar. I like to hear the rain dripping on the window pane. It's raining right now in New York. So, environment, ambiance really is where the birthing of the song happens. And then it goes into the studio and then takes on a different vibe completely. But, you know, the soul is always there. Thank you. Bye.